Hello and welcome to my second constructed video with MTG Arena. I'm going to be mostly running back the green-black deck that I played last time, both because this is the type of thing I really enjoy doing, and as you can see, I'm running low on wildcards, and so I can't really build much else unless I want to crack a whole bunch of packs. So we're going to be going with this. I just made a couple small changes. I cut the Vizier of the Menagerie. It was awkward and unreliable card advantage, which is not really what I want. I just threw in the fourth Wild Growth Walker to give me another early proactive play, and hopefully this will even make the mono-red matchup better. We managed to dodge it last time, but I have gotten beaten up every time I've run into it. And then for the mana, I cut the one Desert of the Glorified. It was nice to cycle once or twice, but besides that was just kind of whatever. And I threw in a third Foul Orchard. If you watched the last video, one of the main problems we had with stumbling was just not hitting our colors consistently, even if we were hitting the lands. So that's just an effort to clean that up at least a little bit. But overall, the deck performed well, so I'm not really going to change much. And we're going to hop into another quick constructed. Hopefully this time, not walk face first into quite as many Settle the Wreckage. Fornicus. I believe I played against this person last time. I do not remember what they were playing. This hand's super awkward, but it is powerful, and these two can help me find more lands, so I'm going to keep it. I might get brutally punished for this decision. Glacial Fortress. Oh, is this the person who destroyed me with blue-white approach? This hand is not good for that matchup. If my first play is a turn 3 Merfolk Branchwalker, I am going to get destroyed. Right on time. I think I am just going to play the Branchwalker. They're leaving up counter mana. I don't think my first play is going to resolve anyway, and even if it did, I don't think I have time to play a Walker and then try to grow it with these. I think I just need to get going immediately. Okay. It's a little surprising, but alright. Interesting thing here, my opponent is leaving up Field of Ruin, so they can wait until this Branchwalker trigger resolves, and if I leave... Obviously it didn't happen because I just drew the card, but if we'd seen, I don't know, a Liliana Death's Majesty here, something that they actually do care about, then they can Field of Ruin to force me to shuffle. They might do that anyway, just to get the Heshep Oasis off the table. It's possible I probably should have played... Yeah, I should have played the Ifnir Deadlands here, because knowing what my opponent is doing with the blue-white control cards they've shown, this is very unlikely to be a good card, but this has a decent chance of being something that matters, so that was a mistake. Hopefully it won't cost me. I think we're mostly just dead right now, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. That I specifically called out... Oh my... Oh, I really needed to hit my land drop first. That was a big mistake. Oh, God. Was not even considering Wrath. I was going to say that this matchup is awkward if they were playing blue-white approach, although it looks like they're actually playing blue-white historic, because I need to apply as much pressure as possible and keep committing threats to the board, but doing that means that I am going to be attacking with as many creatures as possible every turn, and I'm just asking to get blown out by a Settle the Wreckage. Raph was very annoying there. I really needed to play that land pre-combat. I just wasn't even thinking about Raph. I definitely would have Vraska's Contempted. Although it's possible that that's not even correct. If they're playing this, this matchup is much better. I can actually interact with Teferi and Lyra Dawnbringer and things like that, whereas I could not interact with Approach of the Second Sun. And so it's possible I just wouldn't have even cared about this card. Yeah, and I would save things like my Vraska's Contempts for... they can have one of those, I guess. Yeah, this is a good card. I was a little taken aback when he said, "I will fight for my friends," because that is most famously one of Ike's lines in Super Smash Bros. So, I could just get Karn off the table, make it stop drawing cards, but I can also resolve an Hour of Promise to start applying a lot of pressure here, and also get a big mana advantage to cast more of my spells going forward. I think I'm going to Contempt. It means I'm getting 2-for-1 guaranteed by the Karn, which sucks, and I might not be able to resolve this now, and if they just play another Karn and uptick, I'm going to feel really dumb. But I think I can probably keep up in this game as long as I don't just get buried. Like, if I do this and they play a Fumigate and clear my board and then draw another card with Karn, I am so far behind that I'm very unlikely to win that game. Whereas, using the Vraska's Contempt is admitting to giving up a small advantage, and that's the type of thing that I can make up for with value off of these creatures, or the deserts I'm going to get with Hour of Promise, or something like that. Okay, I would like another Ravenous Chupacabra, but it was not to be. Luckily I have another Vraska's Contempt, although that's also getting scary, because it means if they have some other big awesome card, it will destroy me. So, I'm gonna do this first. If I see a Ravenous Chupacabra on top, I would not burn the Vraska's Contempt, because Chupacabra eating a Dawnbringer is great, but since I did not, I'm just going to go ahead and get her off the table. Now, I'm out of interaction. That's not good, but I have a solid value play, a creature that could get very big, and zombies plus utility lands, so the cards I've got are good. This card is very bad against me. I suppose that's another consideration for not doing the Hour of Promise play, because if I can get them to burn this on something that isn't a zombie token, that'll be great. I think I'm just going to attack with both. If they settle the Wreckage me, that's fine. These creatures already got value. And the attacking with just one is just so anemic. Okay, that is definitely fine. Okay, now I will... I'm kind of walking into a Fumigate here, but I don't think... These creatures are so bad if I'm not committing things after them that I don't really know that it's better. Like, for instance, if I just played one and then a Branch Walker and I get Fumigated, is having one Wild Growth Walker left over really that good? I don't think so. Oh, what am I talking about? Fumigate isn't even in this format. That's a Kaladesh card. Yeah, there's Settle the Wreckage, but I don't even know if... There's Hour of Revelation, I guess, but they're playing a bunch of Planeswalkers. That would be a weird card to have in their deck. So yeah, I don't even think there's really a proper sweeper they're likely to have for me here. I guess committing my board is just good. Yeah, sure. Now I know they're not playing, the Hour of No, not Hour of Promise. Hour of Revelation, that's the one. Now I think I'm just going to attack with these two. I want to preserve my Wild Growth Walker in the face of a Settle, especially because it'll get very large with Jade Light Ranger. Let's see what happens here. Okay. I feel a lot better about hard committing to the board now that I know I'm not going to get fumigated. That was a silly thing to be worried about. I feel like it's kind of a conflict if you want to build a control deck on Magic Arena, because on one hand, this deck is much sweeter than Blue-White Historic, or Blue-White Approach. The cards like Lyra Dawnbringer and Wrath and all the Planeswalkers are really fun, but I think this deck is probably mostly worse. Sure, I'll put that on top of my library. Another Lyra is one of the cards that could most mess me up here. And so if I can avoid losing to Lyra, that would be great. Okay, bouncing my guy. It's fine. I'll just go ahead and replay. They really should have waited for my end step there. There was nothing to be gained by bouncing it there, and because they didn't wait, I got to replay it, just letting me use my mana more efficiently. Okay. Probably gonna exile my Jade Light Ranger. Yep. Okay, opponent down to 1 card. I think I'm going to attack with all here, and then stick Hour of Promise. This is an important turn to attack with all, because even leaving 1 back is the difference between a 2 and 3 turn clock. Yep, seal away, that's fine. Interesting that they chose that one. And yeah, now I'm going to Hour of Promise. I will get double Haship Oasis, because this card is great. And I already have an If Near Deadlands. Get my zombies, and now they're in a lot of trouble. If they pass here, I will attack with all. Yeah, okay. I was going to say I'm not going to play around Settle the Wreckage, because to attack with only 3 doesn't play around another Seal Away. And they are likely to be playing more. Oh no. I guess I'm going to pause the recording until I can figure out what's up. No? Okay. It just took a little while. We're good. Wait. I definitely only played 1 match. You guys watched me sign up. We'll see if that corrects after this match, or if I just got 3 wins for free. I don't know. I guess this is something about playing on a beta client, is sometimes things get weird. Oh, man. These aren't even, like, the extra Foul Orchard I added. I'm just drawing the wrong stuff. This hand is worse than the last one because it doesn't have the Branch Walkers, and that even the other cards are more expensive. I'm going to mulligan this time. Yeah, those weren't even Foul Orchards. This is just me drawing all my Woodland Cemeteries. Ugh. I'm gonna keep this with the Scry. Even finding 1 land is likely to get me up my curve, and I've got early interaction. Sand is probably worse than the 7, but at least it has a Scry to try to get going. Might just never hit a land and just lose. It happens. Opponent also on 6? Definitely don't want to draw that. Okay, hand needs help. Oh my. Okay, well that's help. We're on the path to getting to play. We even have an answer to a Hazoret. Yep. This can trade whenever they want it to, so I'm just opting into losing more life if I don't block there. Played the Foul Orchard because there was nothing to kill. Okay, hitting our land drops. I'm going to play this. They can exert to get through, but I just really want to start getting to my powerful cards. I'm gonna bend that. That's not what I need to be doing right now. It would be a little nice because I could hit my 5th land drop and double kill spell, but Sure. This was the risk in what I chose to do. Now my opponent's going to be able to commit more threats to the board and still dealt damage to me. Okay. Which one of these do I think is worse for me? I think I want to kill this, because this hurts me if I play more creatures, but at least I'm still working towards stabilizing the board if I, say, hit an Hour of Promise, whereas this just makes it impossible to block and get ahead. Okay. If their last card is not Hazaret the Fervent, we may actually be doing okay. I'm gonna burn another Never, get this off the board. Going down to 7, which is scary against an opponent with a Ramanut Runes and another Desert. But I don't think I had a better play here. This is a liability when you only draw 2 creatures and they or 1 creature, right? Or no, 2. Because I hit this and the Jade Light Ranger. Okay. I'm dead on board. I need some sort of life gain. And they just... yeah, super dead. Yep, that's... This and the Blue-White Approach deck most illustrate the problem with playing best of 1. Hey, it looks like I get to keep the 4 wins, so that's nice, I guess. They most illustrate the problem with best of 1, because that's the type of matchup where I can't really build an ideal anti-mono red deck without forfeiting the rest of my matchups. I can't just throw a bunch of life gain and cheap but inflexible interaction. This hand's great, by the way. In my deck, and I don't have a sideboard, so every time I run up against mono red, I'm just gonna get blown up game 1, and that's it. That's all I can do. Okay. Desert, actually a great draw, both because it means I'll have double green for any Jade Light Rangers I find, but also because it means now my Hour of Promise will be able to make me zombies. Okay. Free extra card. Hoping not to draw any more lands. That puts me up to 5, which is all I really need, but will not say no to a 2/1 Elvish Visionary. That was a bad draw. Again, looks like a blue-white control deck. Next turn I will remember to play my land pre-combat, so if a Wrath comes down I can get him, but... okay. I mean, that's fine, I guess. This is very bad if my opponent's playing the Historic deck. This doesn't kill anything. So it'll kill a Karn Construct token? I don't know. I don't want to run this into a counter. This is one of my best cards for getting really ahead. So I am just going to play my Merfolk. Opponent almost certainly has counters. They're not doing anything and they have double blue up. There's no disallow in this format, which is like the best counter, but still. Okay. Again, Branchwalker generating card advantage, but this is the problem with Explore cards, is they generate card advantage, but not the cards you want. If this was enters the battlefield, draws me 12 cards, and they're all swamps, that doesn't matter. That doesn't help. Please play some... yes. Okay. That's what I want to see.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
Or I suppose it's not, because Teferi is a very powerful card and is going to untap lands, so they'll even have mana up. Wow, that's really, really aggressive. Uh, hey, I guess. Hmm. So, I'm in danger of what I described earlier with the Karn happening, where if I Hour of Promise, I might just lose the game as I get buried by this. But this creates two bodies, both of which are capable of clearing him if he plus ones next turn, and will give me the mana advantage I need to be able to, say, be doing these and also commit another threat. So I am going to go ahead and cast Hour of Promise. In this matchup, I might want an If Near Deadlands, so I'll go ahead and pick up one of those. Hit my land drop and pass.
Keep up the pace.
Okay, so Teferi's been a good card so far. It's gotten a 2-for-1, but that is not insurmountable. Hopefully, I attack these at Teferi, and their plan is, say... Oh, that's kind of funny. They have to untap 2 of my lands. Oh. Hopefully, their plan is to, say, Seal Away plus Wrath. Oh, that's actually an excellent draw. I'm not going to be using these this turn. I might use this one, so I will tap these for colorless. This is great. I get to find out what's up, see what's going on. If they were planning to settle me, I get to take it away. Okay. They're still leaving up Settle. Problem is they're also leaving up Seal Away, so I can't really play around both. So I'm just going to attack both of these at Teferi. If I get settled, that'll suck, but I can commit another threat to the board, or I can even just clear the Teferi, that's also fine. I'll probably just contempt it if they settle me.
I really should have seen that coming.
Okay, that was great for me. Sweet. Go ahead and play this. You can counter if they want, whatever. Sure. No way to play around that. And now we're in a pretty good spot. I can answer multiple planeswalkers or giant monsters like Lyra Dawnbringer. This card's dead, but whatever. And I've got a good board between my 2 bodies and 3 utility lands. Okay, soon to be 2 utility lands, but... Sure, that's fine.
I will prove myself worthy.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So this one can't deal damage. Okay. MTG Arena has a very nasty habit of not properly documenting what's going on a board state. It just will often leave things very unclear. So this one, the one on top, can't deal combat damage. This one can. I have a couple plays here. I could never to clear the Gideon. Last turn, they did not have anything to stop my attackers from clearing Teferi, but they also would have needed 2 answers. So I could Heship Oasis this and try to clear it, but if they have, say, just a single Seal Away that they didn't want to burn before, that's very bad for me. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attempt to kill Gideon. Leading on this, because I would like to Jade Light Ranger this turn, but if they have a counter for my Never, I want to be able to Vraska's Contempt. They did not, so he's dead. That's cool. And I'm now waiting on the Jade Light Ranger. If they have a Wrath Capuchin, I want to be able to Vraska's Contempt. They do not. So now I'm going to play Jade Light Ranger. I suspect that my opponent's hand is not very good. They have not been interacting with me as I've been getting a lot of small advantages. Okay. Again, this was a 3-mana 2/1 draw 2, which is powerful, but the cards it drew weren't very good, so it's only medium relevant. It's possible I want even more deserts. Like, go up to 4 of each. The problem is that every desert you add makes the woodland cemeteries worse. As is, I've got a lot of basics, so maybe I can afford another Heship Oasis and another If Near Deadlands, but I don't know. They haven't had Settle before, but I think I can... 6 and 4 are just both okay. The problem is, if I only have a return left if they do settle me, and I'd rather not go down to just 1 zombie token. That's not enough pressure to matter. So I'm just going to attack with the zombies here. Again, it's not clear if my opponent does not have settle, or if they just don't want to... Hold on. I kind of wish Arena had an option to some extent reprogram the tapping AI. I don't think this matters, but sure, get rid of him. To reprogram the tapping AI to say, no, I want you to prioritize the colorless Painlands. As is, it works very hard to avoid tapping them for mana, ever. Yeah, they have something here. That's really, really good. Okay, this game just got really hard. Double Field of Ruin, so now I'm likely to lose both of my Heship Oases soon. Possible that means I want to be more aggressive in burning them, but I don't know, since, like, sorcery speed giant growthing your guy and then attacking against an opponent with... Okay, it's fine.
Let's slow this down.
Okay. Before that resolves, I'm going to attempt to Vraska's Contempt. I don't want them to draw a counter if they don't have one already. Okay.
No time for a break.
Opponent collects their 2 for 1, that's fine. I do like this, the effects zone. This is where the City's Blessing goes, it's where Gideon Emblem goes, it's where, if they have an Ixalan's Binding, it reminds you that you can't cast certain cards. Okay. This is an interesting choice, because that's a very powerful card, and it's very likely to bury me, but it means that they don't have Settle up. Like, they tapped themselves out of white. Or no, they can put up double white. Okay, never mind. Never mind, I got all excited, and now I'm in trouble again. How do I play around Settle but apply enough pressure? I think the answer is that I will attack with all of my zombies. Keep just a little back so I can keep applying pressure if they have it. Yeah. I very consciously, like, acknowledged that this might happen to me, and I was trying to play around it as best I could, but I think that's still probably the game. The opponent still has 4 cards, they're going to, if they bend the card, they can flip their Search for Azcanta here, which means they're drawing an extra good card every turn. It's gonna be basically impossible to come back from this advantage. That pull from tomorrow was insane. Got them back into a game where they were infinitely far behind. This is also the type of matchup where my deserts are at their worst. I'm kind of relying on these to generate some amount of advantage for me. Interesting. Okay. Gonna be honest, this isn't a great card in my opponent's deck. Like, making things cheaper is nice, but they already had all the mana in the world. Oh my gosh, I need a Liliana or a Vraska or something. Sure. Sure, even more cards. They're going to be able to cast it because of the Primal Amulet. I'm not dealing a relevant amount of damage, but there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not playing this as a 4-mana 2/2. That's... Even if it turns out my opponent has literally no targets in their deck, I think it's still right to avoid playing for that eventuality, because if I play it and then they slam a Lyra Dawnbringer and a Planeswalker, which they could easily do both of those soon, I'm going to feel really stupid if I don't have the resources to fight through that. Probably don't have the resources to fight through anything, but... Huh. If I'm not doing anything, I definitely should have activated Heship Oasis on my Ranger. Because like I said, I should be looking for opportunities to use these as quickly as possible, with Field of Ruin threatening them. Yeah, that's... I'm just gonna call it there. There's no way I can win this game before they draw that. Not with Search for Azcanta going. Oh, that was a beating. It was like I said after we won that historic match. Approach of the Second Sun is the opposite end of the spectrum of Mono Red. There's very little you can do in the main deck unless you're playing another blue deck to interact with that. Like, I could main deck Duress, but that seems very bad to me. Sounds great. So, there's almost nothing you can do to prepare your deck to say, yes, I'm going to have cards in my deck to deal with their 7-mana sorcery win condition, aside from playing Mono Red and beating down, so. Wizards, if you're listening, I know you didn't like how it turned out last time, but reprint Thoughtseize. That card's sweet, and it lets colors besides blue interact. Yep, this is why this matchup really sucks, because the only way I get anywhere is if I stick one of these and gain 1,000,000 life while I'm generating value with Explore, but I gotta bin that. I don't have double black or enough lands. But they just have enough removal that I can never keep this on the table, so, and their cards are all so cheap. So they're just going to kill my creatures and commit to the board. Yep, sure. Luckily, Merfolk Branchwalker is holding down the fort for the moment, so that's nice. I'll gladly block. If they have a spell, it was going to kill this thing anyway. Or I can trade for both. That is also more than fine. Yep, sure. 2 for 1. I will take it. I'm going to wait. I'm likely to cast this down. I would rather hit an On-Crop Crasher or something, but... That's pretty gross. I think I'm going to have to burn my Vraska's Contempt on that or opt into 2 for 1-ing myself. Which is unfortunate, because that means I'm basically just dead to a Hazoret, but I don't have better options against this card. Yep, I'll just do this now. If I wait and they Lightning Strike it, then I'm in a lot of trouble, because I just don't have an answer. Yep, of course, they always have it. I just need to dig, try to find another Vraska's Contempt. In that. I think you guys are going to get to see the opposite end of the spectrum from last time. Last video, I played against a bunch of different decks, and they all did a lot of interesting things. The matchups were cool. This time, I played against Blue-White Control twice and Mono-Red twice, and you both got to see why the cool version of Mono-Red, or Control, with interesting cards in it, I was able to gradually leverage an advantage and get into the game and blah blah blah. Against this version, I just died. Or against the approach version, I just died. I couldn't interact with what they were doing at all. And against Mono Red, I'm just going to die. I can try to slow kill Hazoret with 2 activations of If Near Deadlands, but I'm very likely to just die before that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to die. Yep. So you see, even with 3 free wins, I still only went 4 and 3 in this. Not good. That's not how I would like this to go. Oh, these are cards I already own. I thought, what, did I not earn those rewards? Oh boy. Yeah. Anywho, this league was a lot less good, but I still got to play a deck I like, so that's something. I will talk to you all next time.